an incredible 4-4 draw. Mauricio Pochettino's team coming back right at the death in the 95th minute. Let's hear from Chelsea's goal scorers, Cole Palmer, in a moment. And first of all, also against his former club, here's Raheem Sterling.
Guys, well done. Crazy game. I don't think anyone who watched it will ever forget it. What was it like to play in, especially for two guys with such a connection with City?
Yeah, I think it was a good game. Obviously, we wanted to win the game. We wanted to continue the win that we got at Tottenham last week. That's exactly the mentality we went out there and done. We fought, we went behind, kept coming back, and that showed the mentality of us.
Cole, for you?
Yeah, very, very strange. The first time I played against City since I left. But yeah, I've got the utmost respect for the club that I spent 15 years at. It was nice to see some friends. I'm lucky not to get a win, but yeah, it was another great game.
I wonder if they all think it was nice to see you. I mean, you must have family, friends at home fuming at the moment with you and your equaliser.
Yeah, probably got many City fans, I know. But yeah, it's a game, innit?
For both of you, actually, Raheem, it looked like you weren't 100% sure whether to celebrate or not when you got your goal.
Yeah, I scored, and obviously scoring is a good feeling, and you remember it's your old club, so you don't try to overdo it.
Yeah. How did you feel? Stood over that penalty?
Yeah, a long time waiting, but I felt confident. I've got a few penalties now.
You haven't, you? The last few weeks, been a few.
Just keep calm. I was 90 something minute it was, so just get focused and yeah, strike.
You looked unbelievably composed, and it was a really cool penalty.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I work on him because I don't. I just trust him and natural abilities, and yeah, thankfully he went in.
Does it feel like a big breakthrough moment for the team, Raheem?
I'd say
this on the back of Spurs.
Yeah, I said it's just building. I think since the manager's come here, that's what we've been trying to do is build slowly but surely. There's been some setbacks, but I think we've continued to work even after some disappointing results, and you can see we're making those steps little by little, and long may it continue.
And you are, you have all season to be fair, but you played today like a man possessed. Is part of that trying to not prove people wrong because you had a great time at City, but just show people how good you are?
I said I had a great time at City. I think people know what I can do. And, with the foundation the manager's laid out here, just go out here and perform. And, I think that's the building block the team's doing. It's just good to be part of it.
Yeah, you touched on it already, Cole. I think you said it was weird, but the whole experience of playing your old team, of playing City, the club you've been at all your life?
Yeah, it was amazing. I was excited before the game to see faces and show what I can do. It was a great game. As Raz said, we went behind, I think, a few times and bounced back. So, yeah, it was a good game.
Huge display of character, wasn't it, Raheem? Have you got something in your eye? What's going on here?
No, something
crazy game followed by crazy... Oh, you've got... Come here. You've got grass in your eye.
You're going to put some more dirt in my eye. But no, yeah. What did you say, sorry?
I've got absolutely no idea. What did I say?
Cole's man of the match.
Cole is man of the match. Cole is match. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Player of the match, Cole Palmer.
Okay, thank you.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, a big moment for those two former City players. It's worth just looking at this in case you forgot how the game went. 1-0 City from Haaland's penalty, then 2-1 to Chelsea, right on the stroke of half-time, City level. Then 91 seconds into the second half, Haaland again. Then back came Chelsea for 3-3. It looked as though Rodri's deflected shot had won it with 3 minutes of the 90 to go. But then Cole Palmer, who you just heard from, in the 95th minute against his former club with his fourth Premier League penalty in 5 games to get a point for Chelsea. Just a quick one. You understand why they don't want to celebrate against their old club?
Sort of. Yeah, a little bit of mark of respect. Sort of, I say. Because I think it's all, you're at a new club now. They're your new teammates. It's your job. You should be happy to score. Of course, I don't advocate running in front of your old fans and rubbing anyone's nose in it, of course. But I do think that your new fans want you to celebrate with them, with the teammates. So I wouldn't never hold it against anybody that celebrated after scoring against their old club.
OK, right. Are we all OK with the awarding of this penalty in the 95th minute?
For me, yes. I think Broja does fantastically, to be honest with you, because he leaves his chop so late that Diaz actually thinks he's going to shoot and slides into him. So for me, yeah, it's definitely a penalty.
Centre halves for you?
Yeah, I mean, what is it? 3 minutes left in the game. Strikers looks like he's in about to shoot. You panic and rush back in and try and get in the way of the ball. And
when you go in like that, he did get a little bit of the ball, didn't you? In your mind, you think, I've got to get this. I've got to really time this.
Yeah, you do. I think probably Diaz will say himself, he's just wanting to get in the way of the shot. He's not expecting a chop in that moment. You're expecting him to strike it. And it's fair play to Broja. He fakes a shot. Diaz comes flying in and fair pen.
Yeah, it's a definite penalty for me. I think, Diaz does get a touch of the ball. If the ball then moves into an area whereby a shot on target can't be taken, then of course that's enough of getting the ball to say no penalty. But he just glances it, and Broja's still about to have a shot, so it's got to be a penalty when he brings him down. And the coolness of this guy is unbelievable.
Listen to this. He had a 4-minute wait in the 95th minute against the club where he spent 15 years. Give us a sense of the mentality and the calmness he's shown there.
That's him. He's from when I've met him, the way I've seen him play, he's a very, very laid-back person. He seems to take everything in his stride, and any pressures that are there, he welcomes them. Like, for him, that he would have enjoyed that moment. Not just putting the ball in the back of the net, being that person that they've lent on to take that penalty.
To give you some indication, as soon as the penalty was, as you mentioned, there was 4 minutes of wait, and I said to Sean, do you fancy him here? He goes, he's born for this occasion. He's so confident. He loves this type of pressure. He knows him as well as anybody. And, it played out that way. It was so cool. Such pressure for the young lad, but he didn't bat an eyelid.
Indeed, just 21 years of age. OK, we've got some Chelsea reaction. Here is some Manchester City, because this is the man who thought he'd won it in the 87th minute, Rodri.
Rodri, what a crazy game. Do you even know how to feel about it? Stood here right now, a couple of minutes after it's finished.
Well, we feel a bit exhausted, to be honest. These kind of games with that rhythm. We knew how tough it's come here. The team they built, of course. They have great players. They sign massive players, like 5, 6, 7. And the level of the team has rise. So we knew where we come. I think it wasn't our best performance today. I think individually we could look more to ourselves, because concede 4 goals is not normal for us. But at the same time, we keep pushing. Sometimes football is like this. You have to move forward and then try to score. At the end, we score 4. But I think we have to correct some mistakes.
So why did it become that kind of game? I think you said rhythm. Why did it have that sort of rhythm, that fast rhythm that it did?
Yeah, because I think we play what they want. They want to play quick transitions, and they are better players in better team in that situations. They are faster players, stronger. We have another type of plays. We have to move the game to our side, try to play our game, and I think we will struggle.
So how could you have stopped that? How could you have stopped it becoming a transition game?
Well, not losing all the balls we lost, being more patient, having more the balls. As I said, I think individual performance of each. But we are a team. We support each other. We move forward, and even though it wasn't the best day, we keep pushing.
Were you though? I mean, obviously disappointed to concede 4, but really pleased with the way you attacked.
Yeah, and thinking that we were very, very close to win this game. A bit disappointed with this fact, but we have the feeling sometimes when we are not ourselves that the result, of course, we want to win is important, but we know if we want to win what we have to do. And I think, of course, big credit for the opponent, because they also have good players, and they play here at home. They make pressure. We're the treble winners. Everyone wants to be there, so it's the situation. But we go to the national team with 1 point ahead, first in the league. So refreshed to the comeback.
Well, he says it's unusual for Manchester City to concede 4 goals. September 2020 in any competition was the last time that happened. So let's just go all the way back to Manchester City's penalty. It's important to remind ourselves of the story of the game. And we're still a little bit undecided whether you're happy with this awarding of the penalty.
Well, of course I'm happy. I'm a City fan, so if they get a penalty,
I was trying for you to remain neutral, Sean, but away you go.
I was always going to be happy, but no, for me, I think it is a bit harsh. There's pulling on both sides of it, but it gets awarded to obviously City at the time, and if you keep giving these sort of fouls, then I've said it before, there'll be too many of them going on within the Premier League, but once it's given, it's there. But if it's the last tug, I think, more than the first two.
I mean, James, you're involved in this type of thing all the time, aren't you? In the penalty area with attackers.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Cucurella gets punished for the last foul, but there's probably 2 or 3 fouls on him before that, or either way. So it seems harsh to me. It seems very harsh. Cucurella just tries to redeem himself after being fouled, and it goes against him, and City go 1-0 up with the penalty.
What about this with Doku pushing into Cucurella?
Yeah, there's a couple of different things that you can watch, analyse, discuss. There was definitely a little shove, but probably not enough. Both players, get up onto their feet. As James said, actually, at half-time, if one of them stays down and maybe even holds his head, then that game probably gets stopped. And then you see that the shirt pulling is happening at quite an early stage. I actually think it's Cucurella that puts his arm on Haaland first, then Haaland pulls him back, and then Cucurella pulls him back again. So there was a lot of shirt tugging there. The referee has obviously landed in favour of Haaland. It could have gone either way, I feel, that one.
10 out of 11 Premier League penalties for Erling Haaland.
Yeah, not as comfortable or not as convincing, I should say, as the penalty at the other end at the end of the game. A little bit scuffy, but hey, who cares when it hits the back of the net?
Yeah, you've hit the back of the net this season. What about Thiago Silva for the equaliser from a central defender's run and positioning sense?
Yeah, we've seen it through his time in the Premier League and even before that, across that front post, and he timed his header perfectly because they're not easy, them. Great run, great timing, and good contact to get it across the goal and into the far corner.
Yeah, this is what we looked at half-time, Steve. This is the area they're trying to hit. Just take your eyes on Alvarez getting taken out of that area. And then Cucurella again was pulling Rodri away from that. I actually think Rodri might have got to the ball if Cucurella hadn't seen it. I'm sure VAR looked at it, didn't think it was strong enough case to disallow it, and it's a well-worked goal in the end for Chelsea.
What about 2-1 Chelsea from a City point of view, first of all, the way you conceded it?
I think these were the mistakes that I think Rodri highlighted, the missed kick here, and then it goes through. And for me, Cole Palmer does the right thing. Reece James is perfectly run, but Guardiola, he reads it, and it comes obviously short, and Reece James plays a fantastic ball across for Sterling, and it goes in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Kyle Walker on the back post here. James, probably you're the man to describe this. He's in the best position here, but he ball watches.
Yeah, just before that, he's got the advantage over Sterling in terms of he's ahead of him. Switches off ever so slightly, a moment of lapse in concentration, and Sterling's scored a lot of goals in that position for Man City. And he comes back to haunt them and gets one at the back post for Chelsea.
It is a typical Sterling goal, that, isn't it? And that's not to be, have a go at him at all. I mean, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. But he scores an awful lot of goals from 2-3 yards out. Probably developed that side of his game, actually, at City. Because he never did it so much at Liverpool. Developed it at City, and he's still... And England as well, he scores a lot of goals, or did score a lot of goals, from 2-3 yards out. It's a real knack to be able to do that, and that's how you get your numbers up.
That seems a ridiculous question to ask, because Erling Haaland's up to 49 Premier League goals now in 48 games. But he did have a great chance at this point. Is there anything he could have done better?
I love this move. I mean, I think he gets the ball earlier than he was expecting. What about that for a touch, and a double touch on the run? For me, left-footed there, I think that he could place it into the near post. However, even from where he is, I still think it's a finish that he can make there. He's quite close. He's only 12, 13 yards out. We see this is a great angle. It's not that close to the corner. But I do think that percentages would say that go to the near post there. Left footer, go running towards that end, near post would be the finish. But hey, he's one of the best finishers in the world, so who am I to tell him?
Well, he hasn't got a Ballon d'Or yet. He only came second. Just on the stroke of half-time, they did get there to equalise it. You pointed out the Enzo Fernandez situation here with the marking.
Yeah, I think as you see there, Foden's on the edge and Enzo tries to read the game, which if it did get squared, he's in a good position, but it leaves Akanji free in the box, and you can see it's a great ball in, and Akanji rises well. Good timed header right into the corner. It's a terrific header because they're not easy. They're not as easy to go up.
It's a brilliant finish. Absolutely brilliant. The ball almost goes behind him a little bit, uses his neck muscles to get in behind it and nod it into the far top corner. Beautiful header. That was only half-time at 2-2.
It is a first in Pep Guardiola's career today. The first time he has ever, as a manager, been involved in a 4-4 draw. So, Let's see what he thinks about it.
Well, Pep, amazing game. You gave them lots of problems. They gave you lots of problems. Why did it end up being that epic end-to-end game that we saw?
Yeah, good advert for the Premier League. So both teams want to try to do quality players and ability to keep the ball, to drive with the ball many meters. So you have to defend deep but in general, we're really pleased. So nothing to regret. So we did everything. We could do better. Some mistakes, but they happen when the opponent bring you in in these conditions, the high level. But happy for the. We were close, but 8 minutes extra time, 9 minutes extra time is almost, a lot of time. And I think it's fair result because we have our momentum, especially when the 2-3, and after have 2 or 3 transitions that could kill the game because still 30 minutes to play. But in that moment we were close, it was control, and after we made some bad decisions or good decisions for them, and we dropped.
I had the feeling throughout the match almost, like I think within 3 or 4 minutes you called Haaland over to relay a message to Alvarez, and then I think Diaz came over a little bit later, Walker, changed Grealish for Doku quite early in the second half. I just had the feeling that you were trying to maybe fix something or figure something out to give your team greater control.
Yeah, simply. Yeah, always you have to think about it, what we can do and getting better, but... Guys, if people expect what we have done, we come here for to win 0-7. That is not going to happen. So they try to rebuild from new era from Chelsea. They everyone the players that they have and they have a top quality team. So we knew it and we compete and still have this desire, hungry. So in that terms, no complaints.
The ex-City lads caused you some problems, didn't they? Raheem Sterling and Cole Palmer.
Yeah, they are really good players. That's why they help us a lot to win what we won. They are part of that. So they are really, really part of our success. But at the end, both they won more and they decide to come here.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea have got a lot of quality in midfield. Was it a real challenge to try and control midfield today?
Always, like chess. You control the middle, so you control the game. So, but they have, listen, when the middle have Gallagher, Caicedo, and Enzo, and Cole when drop, or Raheem come more inside and can keep the ball and run. So they are so dangerous. So they are a really, really good team. So there's no doubt here. Liverpool could not win. Arsenal, they were much, much better than Arsenal, and at the end, Arsenal draw at the end. So it's Chelsea, go away, and the people believe. So I'm not going to say what Chelsea has done to do what they are right now as a team. And it's getting better because the team they play good with a physicality, they have talent, they have a speed, they have bench, they have a lot of things. So Chelsea is built what they have done and decide to do for the next years to be there. I always have been. So important is. Going to national break, top of the league, I couldn't expect after Arsenal game when we lost and we were qualified for the Champions League, we're top of the league, where we come from. Wow, that is really, really good. And now we rest, hopefully they can bat fit, and the next games that they are really, really tough.
So overall, were you reasonably happy with your team's performance? We just had Rodri in for an interview and he said it just became a bit their type of game, a bit transition heavy.
You have to know something, always I'm happy at that team. Will be not polite and not respectful of the players what they have done for me, for our club, for many, many years. I will not be happy. Yeah, we were close, but this type of games that it does make the difference. Our 4 goals in deflection and the 4 goal, we have to avoid it because we have the ball and we lose it because we lose it and you have to keep it. And that teams when you lose these simple balls with the speed that they have and the transition is always difficult. And but in general, I'm pleased, always I'm pleased.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, Pep.
Yes, very respectful for Chelsea. Let's pick up then on the second half. And what a start City got, Shaw. 91 seconds into it, they were back in front.
There's no way really to start the second half, but this is a great touch from Haaland. Caicedo, I don't think she should have tried to intercept there, but the run, the overlap, and the easy pass just across the box. And as you know, Haaland's always in the right place to get it in, no matter how it gets in. But here, Caicedo, just stay behind him, I would say. You don't need to try and win the ball there. What would you say, James, on that?
I just don't think they anticipated that ball. First of all, it's just a clearance basically from the full-back area, and Caicedo's behind him, and he's up with a centre-half behind him in Diaz. I think if he starts in front, he intercepts that straight away, but he didn't anticipate it, and then that leads to the goal, and Haaland getting a great finish at the back post like he does.
Yeah, and they double-checked that. There was no touch with the arm, no evidence of any hands.
No, absolutely, and rightly so. It went close to the arm, but it didn't touch, and obviously it's Haaland's goal in the end. I actually quite like the finish. I mean, it looks like it just, hits any, but that's exact. We see sometimes people on the back post and they stand there and they try to sort of hit it in pure all the time. That finish there, he's just getting his whole body, no matter where that bounces, goalkeeper gets it. He gets it somehow, whether it's his left leg, his right leg, his backside, as it happens here. It's almost under him. There's no way that ball is going to go past him. And I see loads of times strikers on that back post just waiting, having to hit it purely with the side of their foot. Half the time it goes over the bar and things like that. That's an understanding there that it doesn't have to be pure. Get anything, smother the hell out of it. Just keep it down and make sure it goes in the back of the net. And it might sound easy and it might look as if you like that finish. Yeah, I do actually, yeah. I really do. Because I'm telling you, some people miss that. Because you know what? If you only go with your foot on that for that goal then, and the goalkeeper gets a little nip like he does, you don't score that. And he's just making sure he covers all angles by just almost covering it with his whole body.
Can you relate to that from a defensive point of view?
Another thing I'd point out, I said anticipated from Caicedo, he didn't anticipate it. Haaland anticipates the ball flashing across goal and he commits to it early. Yeah. Holds off Reece James, strong, physical, and he's a goal scorer, and that's what he does. He gets in the middle of the box and scores goals, and we see it there.
Now, at that point, City leading 3-2, should they have put it to bed? They had a couple of chances.
I think Pep mentioned it in his interview. There was some chances they had that for them they would have put that. I wouldn't say that's a hard chance to take. That on a half volley on his weak foot. And for me, he makes a great connection. It's just on his right foot. So it's just not far enough in the corner. I think here on transition, this is good counter-attack. It's a great ball. I think Doku, for me, does, in a way, like, you could say he could pass it, but once he comes inside and gets that shot, it takes a little ricochet and it ends up going straight. But in general, unless he takes another touch, there's not much more I feel like he could have done there unless he sets it out wide more.
Yeah, he's dreaming of that situation, isn't he? As a left winger, cutting inside on your right foot, that's his moment of the game, isn't it? That's the position you want one-on-one. I think that's a key for Manchester City as well. In the games I've seen Doku play, it's all about building the ball up, maybe on the right-hand side, maybe central, and then switching it quickly to him so he gets one-on-one. And that is, in that situation, the ideal situation for Doku and for Manchester City, one-on-one, and cutting inside.
Cole Palmer at the other end had an opportunity, didn't he, in the penalty area at this point?
He did, yeah. I mean, there was so many chances in the game. I mean, he does really well here. I think he just gets clipped, actually, on the heels just as he's about to strike it. Do you know what I'd have loved to have seen him do there? Is actually just fake to shoot and then bring it inside and roll it in with his right foot. Here, because he's still off balance, just fake to shoot and then bring it towards the penalty spot there. Guardiola's going onto the line and then just slot it home. That would have been, if that was someone like Messi, let's say, I bet he would have done that. Just cut inside and rolled it in. But, no criticisms at all. He's had another very good game.
Now, before Jackson equalises, Ederson was down with an injury, holding his foot. Did that in any way impact this goal, do you feel?
I honestly don't know. I don't actually know. We know obviously from that it's his ankles hurting him, but I'm not too sure if it influences this at all. But you would maybe the ball moved because it looks like a very clean strike, so the ball may have come back. But even though you want your keeper to parry that away from goal, that's what you expect. But it drops down to Jackson, and a man that's been in goal-scoring form the last two games just taps it in.
James, what's Diaz doing sliding here? I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, maybe...
If he doesn't slide, he gets the ball.
He does, completely. Maybe he's anticipating that Gallagher drags the shot and he gets in the way of it, but it happens so that he slides, he's out the game, and Nicholas Jackson does what all good centre-forwards do, follows the ball in and taps it away.
Sliding on his backside today cost them 2 goals. The penalty at the end and that, I felt that the ball was nowhere near him, really, and he's sliding for some reason. If he stays on his feet, he actually gets to the ball before Jackson does. OK, he could argue that if it's going in this other corner, he blocks it. But he can block it by standing up. When that ball comes back, and the goalkeeper should parry it to the side, by the way. But he's in front of him. He's way in front of Jackson. If he stands on his feet, that's twice he went down and twice he cost their team a goal. Yeah, that's 6 goals this season for Jackson. Now, we've looked at some chances there. Probably the most open of them all at 3-3 was the substitute Malo Gusto.
It was I'd see, for me, I understand what he was trying to do. I think if I was in that position, I think the ball's rolling hard enough for it to run across onto his right foot. He chooses to take it with his left, which is obviously his weaker side. And a finish like that is a hard one for somebody on their weaker foot, for me personally. So you let it roll across and then hit it back across the face.
Yeah, I guess that's why a lot of the time now left footers are playing on the right-hand side and right footers are playing on the left. If that's Mo Salah, we saw it in the first game, it's just easy for him. He slots it into that far corner. It's a massive chance, that is. A massive chance. And then when City go up the other end and score, you think, wow, they're going to be regretting that. But fortunately for him, they managed to squeeze an equaliser. Yeah, his wait for a senior goal goes on. Any sort of empathy with Thiago Silva, the way this is deflected off him from Rodri?
Yeah, I mean, it's so unfortunate. He sticks a leg out to block it. Roger comes onto it. It's a nice clean strike, and Thiago Silva's rushed into trying to just make a decision and get in the way of the ball. The keeper's committed to one side already. I mean, that can go anywhere. That could go out for a goal kick. It could go out, for a corner. It could go the other way, but it just goes right into the bottom corner, the opposite side from Sanchez, and puts City in the lead. And I just think you're unfortunate. He's tried to get in the way of the ball, and it just goes into the far side of the net.
Conor Gallagher, maybe? Can he block it as well before that? I don't know. It's an unfortunate. It's a you always need a bit of luck, but when you shoot, then you've always got that opportunity. But I thought Conor Gallagher he was really close to the ball, get right down the line and make sure that ball can't go through you. And he almost sort of half-heartedly, and it went through his legs, and then anything can happen after that. OK. And we've said again, credit to Chelsea for the way they kept going, the way they got this penalty.
I think this shows not only their resilience, but their mental attitude as well. Being behind against, obviously, the treble winners is you expect the game to be done and dusted, but Chelsea just kept going every time they went behind. And for me, from Broja there, that's a great piece of skill. Like Mo said, Diaz goes down again, and it's obviously cost City a penalty in that situation. But look at here, the way he just checks and just leaves it. He sees that Diaz doesn't get enough of a touch on it and just leaves his body there for the contact. But once Cole Palmer gets the ball, for me, like I said, with him, I don't have any doubt or worry.
I think Chelsea, it's a great bit of play in the build-up to the goal. It's 95th minute to open City up like that late on in the game, and to get your striker in the box with a chance to finish. Chelsea were really pleased with that, because it's easier there just to send the ball wide and just try and cross it in with a little bit of hope. But it's actually really intricate play, opens City up, and they get the penalty from it.
Yeah, it's a definite penalty for me. Diaz, yes, he touches the ball, but not enough to justify not giving the penalty. The ball still broke for Broja. He would have had a shot if he wasn't brought down. So a definite penalty, and as sure as I am about the penalty, he was about converting it.
Last 4-4 at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League was 16 years ago. Remember it?
No.
You played in it.
Maybe that was coming.
Against Aston Villa. OK, what a game. What a week for Chelsea and their manager, Mauricio Pochettino.
Well, Mauricio, for the second time in a week, it's an unbelievable game of football you've given us. You look really calm, but on the touchline, you must have been through every emotion.
Yes, it's true, because that is why we always said that the Premier League is the best league in the world. And yes, if we want to build something special here in Chelsea, it's in this way that we need to play and feel the game. I think it was another unbelievable game, scoring 4 goals again, and again a team that is, for me, the best on the world. And yes, it's good to go to the international break with this feeling.
So you said before the match you wanted to be protagonists, you wanted to get on the front foot, cause them problems. How were you able to cause them as many issues as you did?
Well, I think the approach of the game was really good. I think we were brave. We were thinking always into try to think on the opponent goal. That is the idea of football. That is the idea of mentality. I think yes, I am so proud. I am so happy because I think the player never give up. Always work for more. And then in a tough moment in the last minutes, I think the reaction of the team was amazing, and the player. That is why deserve all the credit.
With Cole Palmer sort of tucking in to make it a 4, were you able to give them a lot of problems in midfield?
Yes, because he's a player that understands the game and use the half positions, the play very well, very good in between the line and to create confusion to the opponent. He always give option to play and find the free man, and yes, he's a player that we were talking before. No, he's this playmaker that link all the things, all the teammate, and make the team to look good.
Of course, it wouldn't be a Premier League game at the moment without a bit of controversy. Started and ended in controversy. We could see you weren't happy with the penalty, their penalty, and we could see you weren't happy again at the end. Should we start with that first incident, the penalty? What are your thoughts?
No, I think maybe I crossed the limit because I was so emotional there on the touchline. I want to say apologize to the everyone and the referee because yes, and then I realized, and then when I was on the
you're talking about full time now.
Sorry?
You're talking about your reaction at full time, are you?
Yes, at full time, but yes, I was really active during the game. No, I think he's trying to help, and to encourage the player to keep going, keep moving, being brave, going forward, and knowing that we face a team that is an amazing team.
Do you think you might look back on this as a breakthrough week? You had your 4-1 win at Spurs, you've gone toe-to-toe with the champions today. In the same way there was that game against Villa, wasn't there, for Tottenham, that you always look back on and thought that was the moment where the project took hold. Was this the week the project at Chelsea took hold?
I think it's, yes, I think this type of game, provide us the capacity to believe. And then, of course, we are going to face teams that are going to play completely different than Tottenham or Manchester City. We need to play another game also, and being competitive, being without the space, and to build and have more patience. Yeah, but that is provide the team and the player good knowledge about themselves and about your teammate and the team. That is in the process. It's the process to build up and downs, but that is the way that we want to build and the way that we want to play and the way that we want to challenge this big team like Manchester City tonight.
Yes, absolutely. And 3 wins in 6, only 2 defeats in that time. As I said earlier, they're going to be small steps, but they're positive ones at the moment for Chelsea.
Yeah, they have to be. I think of that performance there, and like I said, the one against Arsenal, when you're rebuilding a team, or in Chelsea's case, many parts of the club, there's always a turning point, and I think they can use those games as it. I think it happened to City at a point. I think when we beat Arsenal 4-2, that was the turning point for them, and they just grew and grew and grew, got stronger. So I hope that's the case for Chelsea as well.
One final question for you, James. We're almost breathless just watching that. I mean, the intensity of the league that you play in. What will some of those players be like tonight in recovery after that?
Yeah, they'll be exhausted. They will be exhausted.
Mentally as well?
Yeah, both. Yeah, but probably more mentally than physically, to be honest, because the lads are so fit these days. But then games like that can just take out you mentally just as much physically. It's a terrific game, and there's different ways you can go and play against City. Sometimes you can sit off and sort of look to counter-attack, but Chelsea went right after them, really pressed them, and it made for such a great game and a fantastic spectacle.
Yeah, I mean, it was everything, wasn't it, that the Premier League is about: goals and incidents and brilliance, some great players on show. It was a memorable game. We thought it could be a classic at half-time, and it certainly didn't disappoint. One of the all-time great Premier League games.
Indeed. James, we've really enjoyed your company today. Thank you very much indeed. Hope you have as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
We'll look forward to you coming back. A little bit of an end of an era for our team today as well, just quickly before we say goodbye, because every good team, and we are a team here on Matchday Live, needs a good leader. So we're saying goodbye to one of our top producers. Simon Dolman is going on to bigger and better things. All we wanted to say on behalf of all the team, Dolly, our friend, we will miss you. What a way to go out, as Michael says, one of the all-time classics in the Premier League. Chelsea 4, Manchester City 4. Just another quiet day in this brilliant, exhilarating, enthralling league of ours. We'll see you again after the international break. Take care.